Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you how I 100% completed all the Five Nights at Freddy's games. And that means everything, like the rare screens, the Easter eggs, all the challenges, nights, everything that the games have to offer. And this means each and every single one of the nights, and just everything. And this will be a very long video, and I do have all the games, even Security Breach and Help Wanted, but I'll explain how that goes later in the video, switching from devices and whatnot. So yeah, just enjoy and sit back and relax, and if you want to see me like redo a challenge, then just let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's all I have to say, and let's just get started into Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Okay, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And so nights 1 to 3. I completely found these 3 nights easy. That doesn't mean that they can't be hard. So all I did to complete these 2 nights was to stay on 2 cameras, which that was camera 2A and camera 4B. 2A helped me see if Foxy was running down the hall or not, and 4B showed me if Freddy was there or not, and I could just see if how many times he laughed and whatnot, but counting his laughs was a little too difficult for me to determine if he was there or not, so I just made it a little simple with going on to 4B. And well, that was only night 1, and I did have a few issues with power, but that wasn't a big issue. I didn't run into it that much for power, but it was still an issue. And well, nights 4 to 6. Night 4 was pretty challenging. I had to take risks and to just save a bit of power, and it was pretty hard, but I eventually got over it just with a few tries, and it was pretty difficult, but I knew that it wasn't terrible considered to 420 mode, because I knew that was going to be really bad. And the night was really brutally long, because the nights are 9 minutes, so that's not very fun. So yeah, and that's night 4. It took a while, but I eventually got there with only a few attempts. Night 5 was very bad, and I never ever wanted to touch night 5, but I had to do it if I wanted to complete all the games, so I did it. And that's the first time I looked up a strategy, and who helped me complete this is a YouTuber that goes by Kevin, and well, he helped me with a lot of the games, and well, links to him in the description if you're curious on checking out his guides. But night 5 was pretty bad, and I had to look up a guide because it was pretty atrocious. So yeah, that's the story of night 5, and I just had to just for night 5, I had to just keep an eye on Freddy's stage and Foxy's camera and just keep camera stalling them, which camera stalling is basically where you just keep staring at the camera, keep just an eye on that camera just for a really long time, and then they'll just stay there for the entire night basically. But at 5 a.m. there's a chance that they'll move, but that's really it. And night 6 was the same thing. It only took 2 tries, and well, there I go, I ended up beating night 5 and night 6, and night 6 was that easy. And well, then that's when I entered 4/20 mode. Now that I beat night 6, I unlocked the custom night. You can customize the difficulty and earn a star for completing it. Now I had to complete the hard challenge custom night, or just all the characters on the max mode. It was basically my first boss fight out of all the other games, just my final challenge of completing the first game, and then I would have been over with the first game. And well, I had to look it up because I had no clue how to deal with the characters on this difficulty scale. They went super fast on this mode. It yeah, there's no way I could have beaten this on my own. And how I looked this up, well, of course it's Kevin, but you know, it took many tries and a lot of determination, and I did it. And it took weeks for me to end up actually beating it, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, at the time, I thought it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it obviously isn't now. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that I now consider harder than the first game. But well, here's the recording of me beating this mode because yeah. Oh yeah. Also, there's no audio in it because like it like glitched out. So my apologies for that. Now, here's how I felt after beating 4/20 mode. Well, I did it. The mode took like about a week to make, and at the time I called it the hardest challenge I ever beat, but I didn't want to try anything harder than this mode, but I wanted to fulfill my goals, so I knew the only way to do that was to as well just keep going. So I had no idea what I was stepping into, and spoiler, I'm just stepping into the second game. I thought that was quite obvious, but yeah. Alright, extras. So, well, if you check here, I have the little plushies on my desk that I got from the unlocks option, and that is where you can like purchase plushies just for your desk, and they're in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and it annoys me that like you could get plushies on for the first game, but you just couldn't because you had to buy it. So well, I did buy it. So now I have plushies on the desk. They look pretty cool and snazzy, don't they? Yeah. Now it's time for the Easter eggs. So Golden Freddy is probably my favorite Easter eggs in the entire series. It's just iconic. And if you want to like actually get this Easter egg, you have to go to camera 2B and flip it up and down constantly. I'd recommend doing this on the custom night and setting all the characters to 0 or just night 1. And then there will be a small chance he appears. The posters, it just took me a lot of attempts to get all these little screenshots that I have showing you. And the rare screens, yeah, well, like the death screen that you can get of like Bonnie and whatnot, yeah, that one took a brutally long time to get. Like, this one that I'm showing on screen right now is like the most worst thing. Like, it took me so long to get it. It's such a small chance that I'll like land on it to just get that like one little screen. Just this. Yeah, I don't think you would ever want to try that, and I will never try to get that again. And well, if I missed any rare screens, then I think I got everything. Yeah. I think I covered all the first screens I got. If not, I'll just spam them all over the editing, while editing. Now, let's move on to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Hey everyone, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And so nights 1 to 5. They were pretty easy, but also pretty challenging. When I first had the game, I never really understood how to actually beat the games. So I just was really confused with the second game, because there's a lot going on, with the mask that you have to wear and the cameras. Everything was so crazy while playing it. And I'm sorry, my cat, Tater's getting all excited. He does that when I'm talking and stuff, so yeah, just expect that through the video. But what I was talking about. Alright, so away from the cat. So basically what helped me overcome these 1 to 5 nights was Kevin. And this YouTuber is very helpful with a lot of tips. Again, links in the description. And I don't know, without him it'd be a little difficult, I would say. So I did end up overcoming it, and all what it did take initially was just open the camera, wind the music box for as long as possible, and if you feel like you need to take off the camera and stop winding the music box, you have to flip down the camera. And after that, you flip on the mask immediately to prevent any of these guys from going inside your office and prevent you from killing you. Or the toy characters. There's also a possibility of that too. So after you take off your mask, you have to go into the left vent and see if anyone's there. And if you do see someone there, then put on your mask. And well, if after that you have to move to the hallway. And yet, if you see a Withered Foxy there, you have to flash it about 7 times. And if you don't see him there, then, don't flash it. And then check the right vent, and, just rinse and repeat that. And then, you're basically good for the next 5 nights. And, that's how I beat nights 1 to 5, and now night 6. Night 6 was incredibly challenging for me. It took about weeks to beat, and I did not like playing Night 6 at all. It was just this awful thing, and I took a break for, I don't know, 2 weeks to a month, and it was not looking good for me to 100% all the games. But I eventually got to it, and I just found out I had to go a little faster than normal, and, I beat Night 6, yippee! Now we're on to the custom night, and again, you'll unlock the custom night after beating night 6. So after you beat night 6, you unlock some challenges in the custom night, and as well of customizing the character's difficulty. And as well the hardest challenge in the game, which is setting all the characters to their maximum difficulty, which, yeah. So first, I'll cover all the challenges that there is inside of the custom night. And so the first challenge that we have here is 20-20-20-20. Just 420s. I think I got that right. This challenge wasn't that bad. It just was the main strategy. I was really overwhelmed of how fast the characters went in this mode because they're at 20. But you'll get used to it. It didn't take that long to beat. And it just was the same strategy I mentioned for nights 1 to 5, but without checking the vents at all. It was that easy. And so the next challenge we have is New and Shiny. New and Shiny, some challenges I'll just have no comment on, so, which just means I have nothing to say about it, or I just don't really remember it, or I just beat it on my first try. And that's the same with New and Shiny. I have nothing to say about it. Double Trouble was actually probably one of my favorite challenges because it was easy. Alright, next one. Night of Misfits, I don't really remember what that was like. It was something. Foxy Foxy. This one was like actually pretty challenging for only like 2 characters in the entire game, so yeah, that's a little interesting. And then Lady Snipe. Yeah, that was actually really difficult somehow. I just had to move faster than Night 6, which was a little hard, but I eventually got to it. And then Freddy's Circus, again, no comment on, so I'll just skip that. Cupcake Challenge, I don't know if I'm like correct about this, but this challenge felt a lot just like Night 6 again. It just basically felt like Night 6. And it took about the same time period of Night 6, which was not a good sign. And then there's Fazbear Fever, which is all the characters on 10, not 20. And this is pretty bad. So, this one took a brutally long time to complete. It took days and like about 2 months to complete this. It wasn't that bad. I just had to move really fast. And well, we're on our final challenge, Golden Freddy mode. Now this is just some other type of different stuff, and I don't even like, yeah, it was a traumatizing challenge too, like actually fully complete, and it just, yeah. So basically, I did end up beating it, but the thing I first had to do was, well, I bought cheats, shame on me, and yeah, I did end up beating it, and then I did. But I really wasn't that satisfied, so I decided to torture myself again by actually trying to complete it. Yeah, this was not a good idea, because this is, well, where basically my entire idea came from. I just wasn't satisfied enough. And so I tried, and tried, and tried, and tried, and tried, and I just couldn't do it. But then there's that one lucky day where I just went fast enough. My fingers were really aching on that day. Yeah, and I just eventually got to it somehow. Oh, yo guys, I did it! I beat Golden Freddy! Holy crap. Guys, I did it! I beat 5 Nighters at Freddy's 2. I actually did it without cheats. Yeah! Yeah, I'm not doing that again. If there's any, like, people asking, how do you beat 10/20 mode in FNaF 2? I have no idea. I just did some random stuff. Yeah, sorry. Alright, so now we are in the extras. So, I do have the little plushies on my desk, like I mentioned in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and they still look pretty snazzy on my desk, don't they? And I do get these plushies from beating the custom night challenges, if you're curious. If you're a newcomer at these games. And now, Easter eggs. So, I would consider Golden Freddy an Easter egg, but I encountered him like too many times in the 10/20 mode thing. Like, I don't consider him as one. I don't. But I would. I don't know. Anyways, endoskeleton. I just was like playing around with like, yeah, I just was like playing around, and I eventually got the endoskeleton. It was like pretty cool. And then Shadow Freddy, I even denied his existence at one point. Yeah. I got it while attempting the 2020 mode on my computer. So I did play Five Nights at Freddy's 2 like almost 100% it on my computer, but I just eventually got it on my computer, and I just denied his existence, and I was trying it on the 2020 mode, like this challenge I'm showing. All the withered characters have to be out of the parts and service, and then he would show up on a chance after a camera flip. Yeah, all that stuff. And then Shadow Bonnie. I just got him on attempting Golden Freddy, or just 10/20 on this game, so yeah, I have no idea how to actually just get him, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 1 in 1 million chance to get him, if I do believe. I think, yeah, I think that's correct. And am I? Oh yeah, right. The Paper Pals. Yeah, I also got that on my Golden Freddy mode, 10/20. Yeah, you know, I mostly got these things on the 10/20. Yeah, it just really shows of how much I was trying it. Kinda sad. And well, I guess that wraps up Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And well, I guess the only thing I had to do was just keep going. And I don't know, I felt pretty amazed after beating 10/20. It just was like, I don't know, just like all the weight was lifted from my chest. I don't know, something like that. And yeah. Now we're moving on to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And this game was, well, I may or may not have been prepared or not prepared for this game. We'll see how that goes. Hello everyone, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And so nights 1 to 6 were pretty easy. All I did was really just play around and mess around, and I just always ended up like figuring out how to beat it. It's very interesting, and I just kept beating it and beating it. And all what I found out while like messing around was that Springtrap, when he's like walking around in the building, you have to just like lure him with this button I'm showing, and then he'll go to that room. And it was pretty easy. Sometimes he wouldn't follow it because he's a little harder on his difficulty scale, and then, well, I'd end up beating the knights. And then there's like every once in a while of a chance that you get like a error in your little camera system, or whatever that is. So yeah, just expect that while playing. And well, any like difficulties that I did come across was the phantoms, but I just did end up finding out that you just had to not look at them. And that was, well, very incredibly easy. And I just ended up beating nights 1 to like 6 very easily with this. I don't know, it just was very easy to figure all this out. And I don't know, no Kevin needed for this strategy at all. And so the good ending, this was pretty interesting. So how you activate the good ending is that you have to find these little secrets in the camera system in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And once you do them, you'll be like brought to like a secret mini game, and then you have to like bring like cake to the child like who's like crying. Yeah, it sounds pretty weird. And then after that, after doing it like per night, every secret that you find in the camera system, you'll end up getting the ending. And well, this I kept doing over 1,000 times, and the worst part of it was that there's a code that I had to enter on the tile set. Yes, this. Yeah, you had to like do this. Yeah, that was not fun. I had to like click the small little squares of the tiles. It sounds complicated, and that was like the worst part. And some minigames are so confusing that I had no idea what was going on. But I did eventually figure some stuff out, and I just kept trying it and trying it, and I wasn't really sure why it wasn't giving me the star for the good ending, because I thought I kept getting it, and then that's when I realized that I already had. And so basically in the extras menu there's a hard mode. It's not like the 20 mode like in the previous 1 to 2 games, but you'll find it. And this mode was incredibly rough. Like, very, very, very difficult. At first, I thought it was very easy. I had like no idea how to like figure this mode out at all. It just was so rough and just so awful. And I ended up finding like a strange glitch that would have ended up like helping me overcome this night. And it was so strange. Like, you just had to do nothing but open the camera system every 15 seconds, and apparently this was like glitch Springtrap somehow, or you just like fly out of existence or something, I don't know. And then, after like a few tries, I beat this mode within my first day of attempting it. Yeah. I beat this game very quickly. Yep. And now, we are in Easter eggs. So, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this game. Like, a ton. There's a lot of the posters, I'll show you them that I got during, like, a few, ones that I came across them. And then there's, like, this cupcake that you can get on your desk that I didn't even know existed until, like, I watched this one YouTuber. And it's kind of crazy of how much it, like, is in this game than I thought. But the cupcake on the desk, I have no idea of how to actually get that. I'm guessing it's just like a 1 in 1 million chance thing, like Shadow Bonnie. I don't know. And then there's Shadow Freddy. I actually like went through the game files to like find this and see what it's called, because I was like having no idea of like what this thing was. It's either like Phantom Golden Freddy or it was Shadow Freddy, and it's called Shadow Freddy in the game files, and a lot of people deny its existence. Like, I denied Shadow Freddy's existence in FNaF 2, but it's not, it's real. I remember getting it, and like, I forgot what night it was, but it's on screen so you can just look up what night it is in the corner. And is there anything else? I know that there's like that paper pal thing. I remember getting that in the aggressive hard mode that this game has. Yeah, it's on screen now. And if I'm missing anything, oh yeah, the death screens. You can get those. I got them like mostly attempting the aggressive hard 20 mode. It's not really a 20 mode, but it's a hard mode, so I'll give it that. And I think that's it with all FNaF 3. Yeah, I'd say so. And well, I guess that wraps up Five Nights at Freddy's story. This is probably the most quickest section of the entire video. So, yeah. And so, I beat Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I 100%ed it. And now I 100% completed 3 games. And now I had no idea what to think about this. Like, I beat it very easily. I have no idea how, but I just beat it so easily. I guess I just had to take this as a win, but I wasn't sure what to think about this. It was so easy that it was suspicious, almost like something very hard is coming. But I guess that means that I'll have to continue this in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Funny. Hello everyone, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And so nights 1 to 2 were extremely difficult to me, and I had no idea what to do, and each time I played the game, I was too terrified of everything to even remotely come close to actually trying to beat it. So well, my only option here was, you know what it is, Kevin. And well, he helped me beat these nights very easily. Again, links in the description for him, and yeah. What I did learn though is that this game heavily relies on sound, and I did know that Nightmare Bonnie came from the left door and Nightmare Chica came from the right door, and Foxy had no idea how he worked, or Freddy. I just kind of listened to what he said, and yeah. Now, night 3 to 4. So, I had no idea what to do for these 2 nights, so I, of course, went to Kevin again, and well, why don't you look at that? That was his last Five Nights at Freddy's video he made. Yep. All those times I was talking about Kevin, and the previous games, it was all leading up to this moment. Yep. I was in all by myself. I had to figure out how this game worked, and I was in for a long ride. So, I found out that I really just had to focus throughout the game, and maybe I could figure out something, and during this process I found out that Freddy, he'll spawn little Freddles behind your bed, and you have to just flash them after running back from the left door and right door. And Nightmare Foxy, I found out that you'll either switch from the left or right door, and if he gets into your closet, then that means that you just have to keep checking on him. Not by the light, you just have to like shut his closet door for like a certain time period and he'll just go away. And then I eventually ended up beating night 3 and 4 by this, and I was pretty shocked because I now kind of learned that I had to rely on myself to beat these nights now. And night 5 I was completely clueless because it introduced this guy, and I had no idea how to deal with him. I died after like several attempts, and I had no idea what to do. Until I realized that he's basically the same, but you'll hear his like footsteps running left or right, and that means you have to close the door if he runs to that side or not, if that makes sense. And if you hear him laugh, it means that he could be in your bed or closet, and if not, then that means it was a fake laugh. Either that or that's Nightmare. I have no idea. It sounds complicated, but I figured it out pretty quickly. Well, that was night 5 beaten, and the 6th night was, well, quite easy. It just was like the other nights, like night 3 and 4, but adds Fredbear at the end at like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. I think. I'm not really sure how that worked again. And I was shocked. I was able to beat night 6, and after just a few attempts, and I actually started to like this game, surprisingly. And now Nightmare mode, or night 7 is what people like to call it. And I know it does introduce Nightmare into this, and I never liked him. He was always a little more difficult than Nightmare Fredbear, and I always had issues with this Nightmare mode. But I had to do it to complete all the games. And so I did. And it took try after try after try and try. But I eventually got past this goober, and I then unlocked the secret night 20/20/20/20 mode, and you can't customize it. Scott just made the 20 mode, I guess. I have no idea. And how you beat this mode is, I have no idea. I just kind of played around and it's like, oh man, this is a little difficult. And well, after like about 3 months of hard work, it's probably the most longest I spent on like any FNaF game, maybe, I don't know. And I just ended up beating it, and was like, well, I don't know if I really can do this. I did unlock my 4th star though. So I just wasn't sure if I was actually ready for all this work. I mean, I still had Ultimate Custom Night to go with, and that's all 50 animatronics I have to deal with. And if I can't even beat, like, this mode in, like, 2 days, then I'm screwed, right? Well, we'll just see how that goes. And I decided not to worry about it at the time because that's far away. I have other things to worry about, like the sister location game and the 6th game. And then that's when I realized that I still had 6 more stars to earn. Yippee. And there's these challenges. And there's Blind Mode, Mad Freddy, Insta Foxy, and All Nightmare. And so the first one that I went with, I think it was Insta Foxy. And it just means that he's always inside of your closet. And that wasn't all that bad. And I just had to learn that you had to just check on him, like, after running from the left or right door, like Nightmare Freddy. It was a little difficult trying to cheese it, but you'll eventually get used to it. And each time you do this challenge, you have to do it on the Nightmare mode to actually earn the star, which is incredibly hard. But I just kind of got used to the difficulty challenge, I don't know. And then I tried Mad Freddy. He just was very aggressive. You just have to really check on him, like, over more than usual. And then Blind Mode. I actually beat this mode on my first try. Yeah, very surprising. I just was kind of playing around and I just kind of got to it. I have no idea what to say about Blind Mode, but it was something. I just couldn't see at all, and I was just trying to press the right things, and it's like, hey, maybe this game is suited for me after all. And then after that, I tried All Nightmare. I was like, well, it's just Nightmare the entire night. Well, it's just night 5, but even harder, and it's not this guy, it's this guy. And this, like, made my life so miserable. I got so sick of this mode. I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's 4, like, the entire week, like, non-stop. I had, like, dreams about, like, playing All Nightmare. And it just was sickening. Like, this is all what I did. Just kept playing it, even while I was eating. It just, yeah. It was that bad. And then I eventually got to it. Oh, yeah, here's a clip of me beating it. Yes! Yeah. Oh. Ah. Jeez. Alright, I have 3 stars now. Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stars, and now I only need 3 more. And then when I realized that I beat this, I have to beat it again on blind mode. Yep, all that was just for nothing. And then there's, on some of the challenges, you have Nightmare Balloon Boy. And this, if you beat the minigame, that means that you can earn like an extra hour on the night. That means the night will be quicker. And this was a huge benefit for me on the challenges. I didn't try it on All Nightmare though, because I wasn't that dedicated to trying it. But I did figure it out, I think. I'll show you a clip of me beating the challenge.
Hi. Hello.
I'm not sure exactly how it works again. It's kind of similar to Fun with Plush Trap, but it's not the exact same. I don't know. But I did beat these two. They're pretty fun, actually. Yeah. That they're not like a pain like these challenges. And so I beat All Nightmare. And I then went for the next hardest mode in the game, which is just All Nightmare again, but on blind mode. And I was not ready to just do this again, but on blind. And it took about like the same time period to try to beat this as it did just with normal All Nightmare. And it was such a pain, like, I felt so much joy after beating it, like, I don't know, man. It just was a different time while playing this game. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. There's some traumatizing times, and I don't know. Then I beat it. Then I tried what was basically called the hardest mode in the entire game. Blind mode with Mad Freddy and Insta Foxy. I don't even know how, like, I definitely did do this with Fun with Balloon Boy. And this is the last thing I had to earn. And well, I tried, like, after like 2 weeks, and I thought about even giving up about this entire goal to 100% complete all the FNaF games. Because it just was so stupid of an idea, and I had so many games like ahead of me that it just was getting a little overwhelming. And then I just had that one lucky day where I just was very lucky. I don't know. I didn't find any lucky clovers that day, but it was a lucky day. Here's some footage of me beating it. I think I covered all the challenges. Yeah, I think so. If not, then I missed a challenge, I guess, but the challenges, there's like a lot of things that you can like check off, so I'm sorry if I missed something. If I did, then I don't know. Now, Easter eggs. This game doesn't really have many Easter eggs. I mean, there's like that one minigame secret where you can find Purple Guy, but it's not like that secretive. And then there's like the little rare screens with like the pill bottle and like the, I don't know what you call this. My brain's not working, but yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about the Easter eggs, but they're pretty easy to get. And well, I guess that wraps up Five Nights at Freddy's 4. The game was probably the hardest out of the other 3 games. I'm just gonna be 100% with that. I don't know. I lost some sleep with this game. So just be prepared for that while completing it, and take many breaks if you're attempting my challenges. Well, Scott's challenges. He technically made the games. But if you're trying to 100% it, then yeah. But maybe after this I'd get a long break. A nice, easy game after this. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see in sister location. Hello everyone, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. So night 1, you can't really die in it, so I'm not going to say anything about it. Night 2 was actually pretty difficult. So when you go under the desk, there's these little bitty babs that'll try to fight your finger and try to open the little panel under the desk that you hide under. And I had both of my hands to try to close the desk door, and my friend's hand on it too to successfully close the door. It was that bad. Like, okay, I'll show you on screen of how many hands there were on my like really small phone. It's like that bad. Yeah. And then I finally did it. And then after that you have to go into Belora's room and crawl across the floor, and after that, you have to go into Funtime Freddy's room. And inside Funtime Freddy's room, you have to turn the power back on very slowly. And if the danger level, this little thing I'm showing, gets high enough, then that means you have to close the little monitor and play a little audio cue with Bon. And then that should help scare away Funtime Freddy. I don't know. And night 3, I don't really remember that much. So, sorry. And night 4, was it like? Yeah, okay. So, night 4, you're like in a springlock suit or something. I have no idea what's going on. It wasn't all that bad. You just had to press a wiggle a lot and click the little spring locks. I don't know. A lot of people keep complaining about it. Maybe I could understand how hard it is. I don't know. But I finished it pretty easily. Night 5 was really atrocious. I never liked it. And the reason why is I'm on my phone, and what it says, like, when baby tells you to go left or right, or forward or backwards and whatnot, I can't tell, like, how you have to do that. There's no WASD like there is on computer. You have to, like, slide your finger across the screen. It's so confusing. And that's my only issue with sister location. And then I eventually got into the scooping room and got scooped. Then I unlocked my first star for, then I had to get the secret ending. And how you can do this is by going into the extras, and there's, by baby, the animatronic character, there'd be like something in the left corner that would allow you to take you to like a mini game. Or it's somewhere, I don't know. And when you're in that, you have to like play this mini game, and it was so atrocious. I did not like it at all. And you have to like perfectly time everything. It's kind of like Mario, I guess, like the original one. You have to like perfectly time everything and like just do everything like in the correct order. And then bring ice cream to this one kid, and yeah, and then you'd get the star for the ending. And then you'd have access to the secret ending, and that can be going to the opposite direction of what baby tells you in night 5. And this was pretty difficult because I didn't know where to put my finger. Like, it has to be in like an oddly specific like position for baby. She's like really picky, and sometimes I just die by that, and it's kind of frustrating, just saying. And then I would go to the room with this guy, Enard, and he was pretty difficult. He'd be on like the cameras, and you don't have to be on the cameras exactly, but you have to like listen for his audio cues to see if he's at the left door or right door or the top vent. And sometimes he'll like play a trick on me and not actually be there. And then like at 5 AM he goes insanely quickly, and it's like not really fun, just saying. And I eventually got to it, and I was like, oh, hey, I got the 3rd star. Sorry, I was trying to go back to like the main menu, and I like, what? Okay, I guess the little baby was like in the corner hidden. I don't know. Okay, well this is like the minigame I was talking about. I guess it makes good for the footage I'll use on screen. I was gonna try to find it, but here it is. Yeah, you have to like do this. It's quite confusing, I don't know. Something like that. And after that, I unlocked the custom night. And the first one I did was Angry Ballet. And I didn't know that you get all these little stars in the right hand corner if you just complete the very hard first. So I ended up just doing easy, normal, and then hard, and then very hard. But I guess that works for the 100% thing. So yeah, because I just kind of did everything, I don't know. And Angry Ballet, I don't really remember. It was kind of difficult for my first challenge in the custom night, but it was good to get used to things. And then Freddy and Co. I don't really remember this challenge, so I just have like no comment on some challenges. Just be prepared for that. Just like the FNaF 2 part of this video. Funtime Frenzy, again, no comment on. Dolls Attack. Yeah, I kind of forgot. I'm sorry. Girls' Night. This was really hard because Bonnet, she's like a goober. I don't like her because she she'll like go so fast across your screen, you think it'd be easy to click her nose. But your fingers are like so greasy and stuff that you just miss her nose. It's really frustrating.
Save me a dance for another day, perhaps.
Weirdos, I don't really remember this. I'm sorry. Top shelf, I remember this being hard, because Funtime Freddy was kinda a pain. And bottom shelf, this one was kinda weird. Just saying. A cupcake challenge, I remember having like some difficulty with this. Golden Freddy. Yes. Probably the most interesting part of this game. So, basically, I was having the longest issues with this. I was like, I could show you an entire like 20-minute like jump scare compilation with all the times I got jump scared. Yeah, just with one jump scare, and that's not really long. So just take that in mind. And so since I was having so much difficulty with this mode, I decided to try it on my computer. And I did beat out my computer. But then the recording got corrupted, and then I had to do it again. But I just was like, oh man, I kind of want to do it on my phone since, you know, I kind of gave up on that, didn't I? So I actually did try to do it, and I sucked at it. So I decided to try something funny with my computer and try to share my phone to my computer so we could beat it on my computer, because I was good at it. And not only that, but I kind of realized how easy FNaF is on a computer. On phone, it's absolutely atrocious. I never want to play it. Alright, so, how I shared my phone on my computer. Well, I wouldn't really recommend doing that, because that gave me a virus. And so then, I was completely clueless. And, don't worry guys, my computer's fine now. But, yeah, I definitely don't recommend, trying to share your phone to your computer, because I don't think there's a way. If there is, then let me know in the comments, because I have no idea. And then this is when I knew I had to have a new, guide to help me, because, Kevin left YouTube, so, yeah. And so, basically, his name is Ambience, and, links in the description. He helped me with a lot of challenges, not on the computer, but, on mobile. He just helped me with a lot of stuff. So, yeah, from here on forward, he helped me, and so, yeah, huge shout out to him. And so, I decided to take like a break, and I had no idea how to feel about the future of this entire challenge to complete FNaF, and it just was looking really hopeless, and really just kind of sad looking. And then there's like this week I decided to try again. And I was playing it for like the entire day, like Five Nights at Freddy's 4 with all nightmare mode. I was even doing it while I was eating. And I just completely was having like just dreams about it. And yeah, I don't know. This is kind of like a thing about trying these. You'll have dreams about them. They can't beat them, or is that just me? I don't know. And it just was a pain. I don't even know like how to describe it, but it was a traumatizing challenge. And then I even like bought a keyboard and mouse from Walmart to try to connect to my iPhone, and they worked okay. And I was kind of getting better at it. I kept making it to 5 a.m. with it, but I wasn't all that best with it, and I decided to then switch to my hands again. I kept doing that over and over and over again, and yeah, I think you get the point. And of course, there's just that one lucky day where, well, my chair was gaming enough. I don't know. Yeah, I had a good gaming chair. Here's the footage of me beating it. Yes! 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 Holy crap! Holy crap! Yes! Holy crap! Holy crap! And well, I did it. I beat Golden Freddy on Sister Location, and I wasn't really sure exactly what to think of this challenge anymore. If it surely caused me all this pain, there wasn't any point going it further anymore. There's no way I could, keep trying it, right? Yeah. And so, in reality, I did do what I wanted to. I beat every challenge I tried. And well, I did what I liked. And I guess that's the point of it, right? You did what you loved. And I really thought about quitting the entire challenge, but I knew that wasn't the way to go. I knew that there's some hope out there to complete the known as hard challenge, but I don't know, I just had to keep going. I thought maybe I could just take a break, and maybe it won't be all that bad after all. Well, I did. Then that's how I completed Sister Location. Now, I guess that wraps it up. Oh yeah, Easter eggs. There's like a few rare screens here and there. I'll show them. I don't exactly want to talk about how, but I got them, and sometimes I'll just go Easter egg hunting and find them. I had to do that for a long time. Please just don't ask. Just don't. Now, we move on to Pizza Simulator. Hello everyone, so now we are in Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. So, there's a lot to get to here. And so I'll start with the certificate of completion. And I'll cover the main 1 to 7 or 6 nights that the completion has. So night 1, it's very easy, you can't really die in it, and yeah. Night 2 is a little challenging. For the completion you have to get Molten Freddy into your office space, or whatever it is that you play through. When I was completing it, I basically just listened to Hand Unit, what he said, and night 1. And if he told me that if you heard any noise, then just look into the vent and stare at it and it'll go away. And then later nights, I had like the little audio alert thing, and that made the animatronics go away, kind of like in FNaF 3, I guess. And I never really did die like all that much. I've never really had issues with any of the nights. Only maybe with like the ads, because that like stalls your time. But throughout the night, it's not like time based like 1 to 6 a.m. and whatnot. It's your own pace that you have to make things load and stuff, I don't know. And if I heard a noise, I just look at the vent that is playing at either my left or right ear that I heard it coming from. And that was pretty easy. And every time I did complete a task on the computer thing, I would play the little audio cue, and then that'd lure away some animatronics, and it was that easy, and I just kind of eventually got to it. Mediocrity, I think? I don't know how to say that, but you get the point. But how you get that is, it's the most easiest ending in this game. You have to get a total of 0 Faz score in Saturday. Also, I should be calling these like the weekdays, not nights, but you get the point. And this one was pretty easy. I just had to not buy stuff, and my restaurant looked like this, so yeah. Insanity, I think you have to like buy Egg Baby and then click the computer, and then it plays this ending.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. As if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough, the loss of innocence, The loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now, not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
Blacklisted is the hardest ending in the entire game. You have to get like a... what is it? You have to get a total risk of 50. And this was incredibly hard because some items that are here would have like a certain like risk value, like a liability risk. And at Saturday, you had to end up with 50 risk. But you have to get 50 risk, and that was pretty hard because only some items would have a chance to have like a certain higher than risk. Like, let's just say that he would have 7 risk on Saturday instead of 1 right now. And that was really hard. And to get 50 was like just madness. I don't know. Like, things like these, like a liability risk of 4 is a huge benefit. And this little category, Lefty, is a whopping liability risk of 9. So that's a huge benefit. And then, after like a few attempts of painfully going through this awful challenge, I finally got blacklisted. It wasn't all that bad, but it took like about 3 weeks of suffering, or a month. That's what I like to say. And the lore keeper. This just means that you collect all the lore, like in the mini games, like little secrets that you can find. Yeah. I'll show them how you get them. Okay, guys. So if you want to get the secret in Midnight Motorist, you're gonna have to want to go down here. If you can see my little car moving down here, I hope you can see it. There's like a little hole that'll open up here, and when it does, you have to go inside of it. So just bear with me. It'll take a bit. Yeah, I'm getting hit a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't tried this in a while. Okay, so you have to go down here, and then you'll find a little secret hole. And, yeah, that's how you activate it. There's some more to that, but, you know, this video is probably a little long now, so. The next secret we have for the lore keeper is Fruity Maze, and how you do that is you have to collect all the fruit possible, and you have to just keep doing that until Spring Bonnie appears behind yeah, this. You have to do that until Spring Bonnie shows up behind you, and do all the versions of it, if that makes sense. You have to like clear out the entire maze 3 times, which could be a little hard. Just saying. It is a little difficult, but also, this minigame is super good for Blacklisted if you're trying to earn money. For me, it is, at least. That's what I like to do. you like to get a lot of power-ups in this. For the secret. Let's see if I can get a... Oh. Well. I think you get the point. You have to find that. And I think that's all the secrets to obtain for Lore Keeper. You can have little achievements for bringing a band together, and if you want to get these, then you're gonna have a lot of money. And do it in the final game that you're playing, if that makes sense. Like, or if you like press like new game, then those are going to be gone forever. So just take that in mind. And they're not all that bad. Okay, so now extras. So as you see here, let me scroll through this pretty fast. I have all of the items. And when you do this, you have the pickles. If you want to figure out how to do this, you're going to have to salvage all these guys. And not only that, but buy all the ads, because those give you a lot of money. And I just found out about this secret. I'll play it on screen. And that will give you a starter of 200 money, or dollars, or whatever the currency is in this game. And I'd recommend doing that also. And yeah, just the total, try to make your restaurant the best fit, and try to just get a lot of money. And you'll get the pickles or just all the items. And here's my pizzeria layout, who I wanted to select for my main band. Yeah, I like these characters. I think it looks pretty snazzy. And now Easter eggs. So there's like, I mean, you could consider the arcade things Easter eggs, but not really, I guess. I don't know, because you kind of need that for like one ending. So the only Easter egg that I will consider in the 6th game is the death screens that you can get after getting jump scared. I mostly got these in the blacklisted ending, because that was the most difficult. But some I had to like hunt back for, because they're a little rare to get, just saying. And you thought I didn't know about the this one. I'm not sure what to call it though. Warning screen, I have no idea. But you can do that. And well, I did it. It was more of an easy game and pretty relaxing. I kind of deserved it after these 2 very hard games that were giving me a little bit of a rough time. Maybe that was to just get me prepared for Ultimate Custom Night. And hey, maybe I thought it wasn't going to be that bad. And well, I guess that wraps up Pizzeria Simulator. And now, we are on to Ultimate Custom Night.
Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do, and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Hello everyone, so now we are in Ultimate Custom Night. So, when I initially got to this game, I never really thought I'd even be able to open it, of how many hard things were in the past, but I guess here we are, and I never really knew exactly what to do for this, and it all looked a little overwhelming. So I decided to just start simple. This is considered the hardest game in the entire franchise, so I had to start somewhere simple. And I started with Bear's Attack 1. I don't really remember exactly what it is, but this one is just easy. Even me, like, not even knowing really how to play was quite easy, and yeah, I bet you'll figure it out. Bear's Attack 2. This was unfortunately one of my breaking points with this game. I never thought that this game could throw me such a awful twist at this second challenge that I was attempting. It was just one animatronic that they added to Bear's Attack 2, Toy Freddy. They did make him a little, the other characters a little more difficult than Bear's Attack 1. But Toy Freddy, he was such a pain because you have to like play Five Nights at Freddy's inside of Five Nights at Freddy's, if that makes sense. He has a little computer monitor on the cameras that you have to play for him because he's too lazy to actually play the game himself. And that made it really difficult. And I had to collect coins, and that was really atrocious. And I just kind of thought maybe I should just give up at this point. I think this is just a clear early sign that the game just wants me to quit. And then that's when I tried it on my computer. But when I beat it, I decided that I would go back to my phone. Because it felt like I gave up, just like Sister Location. So then I beat it. Now we are in Bears Attack 3. It's just kind of like the same as Bears Attack 2, but a little more movement with more difficulty, I guess. And some animatronics you can like easily eliminate with, like Freddy, like I don't know. You just will have to close the left door if you open the cameras and whatnot, and camera stalling. I'll get into all that later, but Pay Attention 1. I beat it on my like 4th or 5th try. It's a little difficult with Funtime Foxy, but I just ended up death coining him, so then I didn't really have to worry about it at the time. At the music box, it just was kind of like FNaF 2, so not bad. And Music Man, I just had to keep it quiet. And Afton, or Scrap Trap, he will eventually, sometime in the night, try to go into the vent very quickly. But it's not all that difficult. Pay Attention 2, it's just the same thing, but a little harder. Ladies Night 1. I remember having some sort of difficulty with this, but I don't really remember. I don't know. Ladies Night 2. I think I also had some difficulty with this, but not sure. Ladies Night 3, I remember having like... Okay, it's just the same as this one, but a little harder. It adds Funtime Foxy, and I had to death coin him. Baby, you'll have to just camera stall them. And if you remember the FNaF 1 part of this video, you'll remember what camera stalling is. And you don't have to buy their plushie from the desk, because if you just camera stall it, then it'll stop them. And Nightmare Mangle, I just kind of like... It's the same thing as this. Okay. Now, I beat all the set of the first challenges. Then I was on to the second challenges. So Creepy Crawlies, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot that. Creepy Crawlies 2. I guess it's just this, but a little harder. I don't know. Nightmares Attack. I remember this being somewhat difficult, but I don't know. Springtrap, just saying, this one was a little easy. You just have to go onto the camera that this character's on. And the funny thing is, I beat this while eating Chip Ahoy cookies, so yeah. No, just no. Chaos 1, I remember is a little scary at first. Trying to get used to all these characters were a little difficult, but I just kind of got used to it. I don't know. Chaos 2. This is just kind of some random stuff going on here. So yeah, I remember Chaos 2 being easy, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Chaos 3. It took like about a month or so to beat this, and it was definitely not looking good. I was basically giving up hope, and with Nightmare on and Foxy and Nightmare Balloon Boy, it just was getting a little too extreme to say. And not only that, but and Nightmare Bonnie was just so difficult. This video explains it very greatly, so by Ambience, my new guide that I watched for Ultimate Custom Night. Again, recommend that. Links in the description for everyone who helped me. And yeah. And just saying, Nightmare on mobile is really bad, because you have to like slide your finger around like that instead of the actual mouse. They can just like quickly like slide like that on computer. Yeah, it is bad. Then well, I beat all of my challenges that I have. Yes! Yes! Oh! Yes! 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 And well, I probably should not have jumped into 50-20 mode so quickly, so I knew that there's probably a better way of doing that. So I decided to do an easier mode like 45-20 mode. Well, 40-20 mode. I did an easier mode like 40-20 mode, and it wasn't all that hard. It's a little crazy getting to things, but I just kind of got used to it. And here is what I set for it. Okay, I think this is what I set for the 40-20 mode, if I do believe, and it's a little hectic, but I just kind of got used to it, and what do you know, I beat it in the second day of trying it. Then I unlocked a bronze Freddy trophy, and that was not too terrible. So then I quickly went for the 45-20 mode, and this took a really unexpected turn of difficulty. Okay, so here's what I did for 45-20 mode, and I also recommend turning off Funtime Foxy. I don't exactly remember all the characters who I turned off, but this mode was so intense, like, I don't know, like, man, Music Man was just such a pain, and yeah, I don't know. Just 45-20 mode was already a little extreme for me, and well, I decided to take a huge long break after that. It just was getting a little too much for me, and I couldn't even imagine what it would be like with the puppet and Chica and Foxy. So that all got a little too much for me, and I just didn't know really what to think of 50-20 mode anymore. And after about a week break, I decided to go ahead and attempt 50-20 mode. And I would describe everything of how it was, but that would make this video extremely long. And I spent many nights on YouTube just plain out binge watching 50-20 mode being completed, and 50-20 mode guides and all sorts of stuff, and I kept giving myself challenges to prepare for these little goofballs, and it just was a little much, and I already got sick of it not even attempting it yet, and I just didn't even know what to think. And so I decided to give it a shot. And well, I kept trying and trying. I couldn't handle it with Toy Freddy anymore because the buttons to close the doors in the computer were like too small, so I was also dealing with that, and I kept dying mostly in the beginning, and yeah, it just was harsh. And there's this one time I made it to 2 AM, and I just died right after that, and that was a little depressing. because that was the farthest I've ever made it in 50/20 mode. After about like 2 weeks or so of trying it, I couldn't even make it past my high score of 2 AM anymore, and again, don't rush it, just keep going with it, and you'll probably end up getting it. And then that's when I realized I should just buy cheats, and I am just using the game's resources to beat it, right? And I thought maybe just got one on this challenge that I beat, and it was just over. I gave up, and I thought it was a stupid idea to just come back. Well, sometimes you just have to realize that you can't beat a certain thing. And some things are just not meant for you. And that's when I realized maybe I could do it on my computer. No, I just kept dying too. I didn't want to do this at all. So I gave up again. And well, my legacy was now over. And well, you can't just tell how much I was excited about beating it with cheats. Yes! 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 This ends up continuing on one night. I just was scrolling through YouTube and I found like this strange community post. I don't know who it was by, but I just saw this and I was like, huh, that's strange. And I then afterwards I was curious what it was because it was related to FNaF. And then that's when I realized that this game was getting an update. What a coincidence. It just gave me the perfect opportunity to actually beat it again. As long as they made it easier, with Toy Freddy's buttons being bigger, and less issues with these guys. And this guy. I decided to just sleep in, and then after I woke up, I decided to check out the update. When I did, it was a huge, huge lifesaver. And it looked like this. It just was very nice looking. The buttons were a lot bigger and oh no, I'm already getting used to playing it. Yeah, this is kind of what it was like, but I think you get the point. But it was a huge difference, and then I thought maybe I could just give this mode another shot. Maybe after all, my legacy wasn't over. And so I tried, and tried, and tried, and tried, and I made it past my record. I made it to 3 AM, 4 AM, 5 AM, several times. But there's a time I made it to a whopping 6 AM. That's when the power went out. Right before it hit 6 AM. And this character, they'll randomly go inside your office, and when they do, you have to put on the mask. And that happened when the power went out. And then I died. At 6 AM exactly. And I was at the, edge of tears. Actually. I was actually about to, bust into tears. And I don't know. It just got a bit much, and I decided to try a week later. And well, in the end, never give up. And follow your dreams. Oh, yes! Yes, yes, yes! 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 Okay. And extras. So, as you see here, you can unlock offices by obtaining a high score, and my favorite office that you can have here is the sister location one. And I just really like how it looks. It's not the best for 50/20, but you know. But if you want the best one for 50/20, it's this one. Yeah. But we'll keep it at here for now. And power-ups, I have the limits of all the power-ups. 9 is the max of items, and yeah, I have all the power-ups. Neat. And Easter eggs, there's not that many. There's these guys you can get on your desk, and you know how I all got them. It was this mode, but you know, I guess that wraps up 50/20 and well, Ultimate Custom Night, and I guess we're now on to Help Wanted. My journey continues. Hello everyone, so we are now in Help Wanted and Security Breach, which I don't have it on my phone or my computer because at the time my computer that I had couldn't run it, so yeah, and it's not out on phone, so I had to do it on my PlayStation. And I took pictures of earning the achievements, and so I hope that's good enough proof for recording wise. So yeah, that's why I don't have any footage or anything. So Help Wanted was just me basically just having fun and playing the game, but I did have a few issues and some trouble with it, and if I did have trouble, I would just go to DJ Sturf's channel, links in the description again, and I'd watch his guides to beating the stuff, and yeah. And collecting all the coins was a little more difficult because the last coin that I had to collect was in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and that was pretty hard because the one in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, if you remember the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 in this part of the 100% completion video, then you know that I had to enter a code in the wall for the third game. And in Help Wanted, there's a reference to that you have to get a coin in the wall. So yeah, that's the most difficult to collecting all the coins. And how I collected all the items is that I just played this one level in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which is just night 1, and you can't die in night 1, so yeah, that's pretty easy. How I beat the game, I just kind of played around, and I guess it just kind of happened. And now we are on Security Breach. When I completed this, I realized that only 0.9% of people have this PlayStation achievement. And that kind of made me realize how many people actually did complete everything. Or am I the only person? I don't know. But this game was pretty big. So I kind of feel bad not having any footage, but I will definitely be sure to do it again if you guys want it and if this video gets popular. And I have no idea how to record on PlayStation, so yeah. And you have to collect all the items, every single one of the items in Security Breach. And how I did that is this video. It told me where all the locations were, which is quite nice. And yeah, that video helped me out, and thanks a ton. Then after that, I had like this issue with Monty, and that was really difficult because after I defeated Monty, I would run into this issue. That the PlayStation would just crash, and I was pretty much doomed because that was my game that I had all the items with. So how I fixed that is I read the comments and someone fixed it about jumping around in the elevator and dancing. So I danced in the elevator and it fixed it. Then I collected all the items and yeah. And then that's when I found out that I had to earn an achievement called Hide and Seek Master, which is never use a hiding spot. And I used a ton of hiding spots in this game. So yeah. I had to play the game again. But I beat it very quickly within 2 days, so not that terrible, I guess. Yeah, and that's Security Breach, and well, now I guess that kind of just wraps up the entire video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you don't believe that I have completed all these games, I will do it again, live on this channel. As long as enough people requested, that is. It's definitely a rough journey throughout these games, yeah. And if you guys want to attempt it, I exactly said how, and if you guys have anything to say in the comments, let me know, and I'll be sure to give you some support and stuff if you try stuff, and I don't know. I think this could be a really long intro, well, outro, if I keep talking on for so long, so yeah, and I guess this wraps up the entire series, and wait, what?